To issue an RMA through Oasis, let's begin by going to the order section and looking up the PO I'd like to work with. And what I'd like to do, go to the Items tab, and for argument's sake, let's say the two of these have showed up and they're defective or whatever the case is. So I'll go ahead and go to the Actions menu and do an RMA request. All I need to do is take that first line, I'll key in the number 2. That just identifies the quantity that needs to be shipped. And I can make any other changes here as well. So if there's a part of this item that had been defective, like maybe a lens on a 2x4 troffer, I could just say lens there and then the catalog number. Whatever it is that you need to do to communicate this to the factory is basically what you add in there. And the reason, or whatever it is, you can add your own set of terms or reasons here by simply adding a little clipboard here and just give them a name or whatever else you want to add in there. Okay. Print, it'll email it through. Go ahead and identify who I want to send this to. Add any attachments. And it shows basically a quantity to, housing. Again, you could change the pricing there as necessary. And that's all that happens there. I'll go ahead and email that over. Now, you can actually create a replacement PO. All I do is hit yes, and what's nice is that would actually link the two orders together. So let me go and do that real quick. I'll say yes. Obviously, it's a released order here. And when it comes up, notice it does a -REPL at the end. That's the first thing that's kind of neat. It copies everything else over as far as the project information and any search items that we need. Let me go to the Items tab. I have the quantity to. So it's the quantity I keyed in, and again, if I change that to lens or something like that for a 2x4 troffer, you can actually change it to whatever I keyed in on the RMA screen. Addresses are the same as before. You change those as necessary, and basically print it and send it over to the factory. Add any attachments, messages, and send. Now let me go back into my order here, go to attachments, and what's real neat is they cascade each other. In other words, the replacement PO is actually an attachment of the original purchase order. That way everything's kind of linked together. Okay. Now another thing that some folks will do is if you go under Items tab, by the way, you can see all the lines that will have a little annotation on it that have a RMA against them. So what I can do is I can click on the RMA number and add the response from the factory, and this gives you a few other pieces of information if you choose to do this that could be helpful later. So I'll hit add. I'll put in the RMA number here. Okay. Go to the Items tab. I was approved to return this, and then any terms. Again, this is purely for your information, including the restock charge. What it does allow you to do is you can email over to your customer a nice form that says a little more about the RMA. Really, that's it. I'll hit OK, save and close. And now I can do a find here, not only by the PO number or other information, but the RMA number as well. So RMA, and it found my PO. And that is how you request RMAs